Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be doing a low back strengthening video to help with low back pain. I'm going to start by just suggesting that you get any props that you might need, whether it's a cushion, some blocks, a strap, any tools that you might find useful throughout this practice. Just go ahead and take a moment, grab those now. If you're not properly warmed up, if you've been sitting all day or standing, haven't had a lot of motion, then I highly recommend getting some motion in your body and just warming up, getting some blood flowing before beginning this practice. I also would recommend that you listen to your body. We're out here doing yoga to get better, to feel better, to be healthier. So don't put extra strain. Don't do any motions that could cause more injuries to yourself. Go slow, listen to your body, and work at the level that you're at. Throughout this video, we are slowly advancing in the difficulty of poses, so don't feel intimidated if at some point they get a little difficult. It is just something to look forward to and something to work towards. Find the level that you can get at using modifications. Now I'm just going to begin with just gently warming up the body a little bit, getting some motion in there, preparing the low back and upper back for the stretches we're going to be doing. If you want to just do some arm circles, and you can move your hips around, get a lot of motion in your body. And then if you want to stand still in mountain pose, we're going to do a few deep breaths to warm up the lungs and prepare the mind and body for this practice. So big inhale for as long as you can. Keep on inhaling. And then go ahead and let it all out slowly. Keep pushing out. There's more air to go. And then go ahead and take an inhale. Big inhale. Nice and slow. Keep it going. Fill your lungs, fill your stomach, fill your back up with air, all of it. Go ahead and have a big exhale. And when you're ready, you can get onto your back for the first pose. With your knees bent, we're going to be doing bridge first. So you can place blocks under your low back upon extension if you don't feel safe. You can also place a block in between your knees to engage your quads and make sure that your legs muscles are activated. If you like, you can also intertwine your hands on the floor of the mat. Now go ahead and just do a few up and down on your breaths. Inhale, extend up. Exhale, push your back into the floor. Inhale, go ahead and lift those hips up one more time. Exhale, push your back against the floor. This is a good warm-up for the low back. It's low intensity. If it's a little easy for you, then you can try lifting up one leg at a time without letting the hips sag at all or fall down. Keep that nice low and slow breath. Be in control. If you lose the breath, you lose the yoga. Every day you're blessed to be able to move around and get motion in your body, and you're blessed to be able to take care of your body. So take some time and just do it. Look after yourself and plan for your future. Be grateful for your body. It's carried you around for so long, and it will continue to. It listens to what you say and what you tell it, and it operates on what you give it. So take care of your body. Go ahead and relax. Take a few breaths before we move on to the next pose. Just ground yourself, stay calm, stay concentrated. And whenever you're ready, feel free to roll over onto your stomach, and you can just move your legs around here, warm up the ankles a little bit, get some rotation in there, bend the knees, kick yourself in the butt a little bit, and then when you're ready, go ahead and grab the outside of the foot with both hands. If it's impossible for you to reach that, you can use a strap and have the strap just holding your feet. But what you're going to want to do is try and lift everything off the floor except for your waist. You want to keep your quads engaged, and you want your feet to be pushing hard against your hands. It's not so much that you're pulling your legs towards your glutes, or your feet towards your glutes, but it's more that you're pushing your feet back, and it's causing your chest to expand and be engaged. This one can put a bit of pressure on your knees if you're not careful. So just be conscientious. Don't cause any pain. And if anything hurts, just go ahead and regress it and do a little bit easier version of the movement. Everyone is at their own level, and everybody's working with what they got. Here I'm demonstrating how you could use a strap if you're unable to reach. Maybe your shoulders are a little tight or your chest doesn't open quite as much. That's okay. Every body is different. Everyone's made differently. Everyone has done different movements throughout their life that might cause certain poses to be more difficult than others, but that's perfectly fine. Just get where you can feel the stretch nice and deep and you can work. It's important that you're working at your level. Go ahead and relax, take a few breaths before we move on to the next pose. And keeping your hands firmly pressed onto the ground, we're going to start by raising just your head up, then your neck, then your upper shoulders into upward dog. You want the tops of your feet on the ground. If it's possible, you can raise your thighs up as well and really accentuate that bend. If you can, look to the sky. And we're going to take it one step further and get a little bit of a spinal twist. So each time you want to extend up towards the sky on inhale, and as you exhale, go ahead and twist from a place of extension, and then do about 4 breaths each side. Just try and look as deep as you can to both the right and the left. Then go ahead and relax, lay back down on your stomach. And back up for the next round, same position. Keep the shoulders relaxed. And then we're going to be doing a seated forward bend next. So sitting in Dandasana, legs out straight. Here you can place a block in front of your feet as a target to reach for and to grab. If that's unrealistic, then you can grab your ankles, but first you're going to want to come up with your hands, extend up, extend forward and down, extend forward and down until you reach a comfortable spot. Try and have your legs as close to straight as you can safely. You don't want to be hyperextending, just have a micro bend in the knee. You can grab the ankles, you can grab the shins, you can grab your heels, you can grab your toes. You could have your index finger wrapped around your big toe, but just don't put too much stress or pressure on it, as that could easily break your toe if you're not careful. Keep breathing, keep reaching, relax, enjoy the pose, smile. Exhale and surrender deeper. As you inhale, hold at the level you're at. And then upon exhalation, just go a little bit deeper into that darkness. Just surrender a little more. Feel where it's tight, feel where it hurts. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of your body hurting a little bit. And go ahead and relax, extend the hands up. Coming back into a seated position. If you like, you can put your hands on the floor besides your waist, and you can push your chest up a little bit as a counter movement for a forward bend, because you have the chest collapsed on itself. So afterwards you want to prop it open a little bit. Go ahead and take some relaxing breaths here and get onto your knees. This next pose is a bit advanced. This is the camel pose. As you can see, I placed the blocks adjacent to my feet. That can be helpful. You can also have a small chair behind you to place your hands on that's higher than the blocks if it's unrealistic for you to get down there. But taking one hand, you're just going to want to extend it, externally rotate it, and put your hand either on the block, on the chair, on your heels, and then do the same thing with the left hand. Now you're going to want to push your hips up, try and keep them in a straight line, and if it's possible, if you have the neck flexibility, you can look directly behind you. If not, feel free to just look forward wherever is safe for you. But you want to keep expanding the chest and engaging the hips and glutes. You want to push your hips to the front of your mat in line with your knees. And a few more breaths here. Nice deep breaths. Don't be in a rush. Just enjoy the pose. Smile a little bit. And if you need to come out of it at any time, that's fine. Just place your hands on your low back to support yourself, and then go ahead and move upwards and out. If you haven't already, now's a good time to go ahead and relax. Take a few calming breaths here before we move into the next pose. Malasana, the king of hip openers. It does help with low back pain as well as opening up the hips. So you can sit on the blocks to help you understand what depth you'd like to go to, but you want to be essentially in a wider legged, feet pointed out, deep squat with your elbows pressing into your inner thighs right next to your knee, and you want to be expanding your legs, peeling them open with your hands bound in namaste. Keep breathing. This one might be a little bit difficult. You're more than welcome to sit on a small chair or the blocks for support. Don't put too much stress on the low back or on the hips. Then go ahead and come out of the pose and relax in child's pose for a little bit. Just a few breaths here, just to give yourself a second to reflect, to be grateful for what you have and how far you've come. Just relax the hips down onto your legs, wide knees, feet together. You can have your hands adjacent to your legs or up forward, whichever one you prefer. And go ahead and come out of child's pose. If you want to get into a standing position, we're going to be doing a gentle twist of the body, trying to keep your hips and legs pointed forward as you extend to the right side. Imagine you're pulling your right shoulder backwards and your left shoulder forwards. And then go ahead and switch. Just get a nice twist. Reach as far as you can. Following that, you can raise your hands up. We're going to be coming down into a deep forward bend, standing. You can have a micro bend in your knees. You can grab your ankles. You can grab your toes. You can grab your heels or your calves. If you are sufficiently advanced enough, you can try and grab your elbows behind your legs. Shake your neck out. You can shake your head no, and it will help release the pressure on your neck. You don't want to have too much pressure on your neck. It's very easy to clench and hold it tight here, but that's not what we're going for. You want to be nice and loose. Try and extend your hips towards the sky, similar to downward dog. Engage the feet, press firmly into the ground, the whole foot, toes and ankle. And then go ahead and extend up and out, and we're going to come back to a standing pose. Take a few breaths here, and when you're ready, you can grab a small blanket if you like that's rolled up, or a cushion, and you can place that under your low back. This is just going to help when you're laying down doing this final relaxation. It will support your back and not have as much pressure on it. It's not necessary, but it is very beneficial, especially if you're experiencing low back pain or if this was a very difficult practice for you. Feel free to use that blanket. Now, go ahead and just monitor your breath, relax your body, and sit with your breath for a while as the practice comes to an end. What makes you different is what makes you special. Nobody can bring to the world what you bring. So be grateful and use your unique talents to uplift others around you. What you want is on the other side of fear, and fear is what they use to paralyze us. Live life with courage. You owe you. Nobody owes you jack. If it exists, you can have it, so make sure it's positive and healthy. The divine, the good, the light, and love in me will always be connected with the divine, the good, the light, the love in you. And for that reason, I'll always be grateful.